Yeah, but this is in front of me.
Welcome to the Edmonds Unitarian Universalist congregation's Sunday morning worship service. My name is Barbara Powers, and I'm a member of the climate team of the Peace and Justice Committee. Other members are wearing bright green shirts like mine. Look around for them. In preparation for our service, please pull out your device and please turn off your ringer so that we can all enjoy the service without interruption. We're so glad you have joined us here in the hall and through your screen. If this is your first time with us on site this morning, please find someone at the welcome desk after the service and say hello. They are glad to answer your questions, and they can share all kinds of stuff about our congregation. And if this is your first time on site with us this morning, please find someone at the welcome desk after the service and say hello. They are glad to answer your questions, and they can share all kinds of stuff about our congregation to you. If you're joining us online, please go to our website at euuc.org and click on the tab that says I'm new. You'll find a drop-down menu with a link to our visitor form called What Are You Interested In? Fill that out, and we will send you more information about who we are and about who you can become if you choose to explore this amazing congregation. If you're here in Chapman Hall this morning and you want to gather with us to socialize after the service, please go out the double doors in the back of the hall, grab a hot beverage, and join us for coffee hour. We'll be in here, out in the narthex, where you get your hot drink, and out on the playground, the sun is shining, with the kids of all ages. We welcome all children for all parts of our worship service, and we remind ourselves that the noises they make are sacred and holy. We are so glad you are here. And now we open the service with our land acknowledgement. Let us remember that our congregational home, this site on which we are gathered this morning, is placed on the ancestral lands of the Snohomish people, who have inhabited this region of the Salish Sea since time immemorial, and who continue their livelihoods on these lands today. May we all live and learn humbly as allies to the Snohomish. Each week we commit and complete a sign and signal of our faith tradition, Unitarian Universalism, by placing a flame in the bowl of our chalice. We celebrate that we get together in this place in person through screens in this moment, and later on through recordings. We gather, we create community, and may that always be so. With these words, light this chalice with the words by Reverend Kelly Dinyan. We light this chalice with the future in mind, letting the light of the flame illuminate our present moment and also carry our love and actions forward to the generations yet to come.
In keeping with our theme this morning of The Children Are Calling, we're bringing back a song that we used to start every service with. We came to fondly refer to it as our credo. Now, you may be wondering why a church that professes to practice a non-creedal religion would start its services with a creed. And that's a fair question. The lore behind how that came to be involves our former minister, Robert Fulgham, who was having a conversation with some of our younger members about what they believe. And from that conversation came our credo and the words that you see on the screen. At this time, Matt will lead us in this.
All right, go ahead and stand. We're going to sing first time through on "Ooh," so that we get reclaim the melody since it's been a little while, and then we're going to sing the words that are printed on the screen. I believe in life and love and people. I believe the rising of the sun. I believe the world will be much better. I believe the universe is one.
Let us now say our affirmation. You can say it out loud, read along, listen to the group reading, or otherwise participate as you wish. We need each other, and so we come to this place to work and dance and laugh and cry and think. We call ourselves a religious community, not because this place is in itself holy ground, but because what we do here and say here and are here make it so. So let it be. And now the children's choir, under the direction of Matt, will sing "Listen to the Rain." if you are comfortable to join us in singing Big Yellow Taxi, led by Matt.
They pay paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, ba 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 ba, ooh, ba ba ba. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. And they charge all the people $1.50 just to see them. And don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, ba 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 ba, ooh, ba ba ba. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away that DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, ba 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 ba, ooh, ba ba ba. They call a fight, I heard the screen door slam. And a big yellow taxi put away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, they pay paradise, put up a parking lot.
Hi, I'm Nancy Johnson, and I would like to bring up Yvonne to the pulpit. This week we're going to continue with testimonials from fellow congregants.
Let's see. Not room for two iPads up here. Okay. So, a little over a year ago, I was in a pretty dark place. My mental health was bad, or worse than it's really ever been for most of my life. I couldn't get out of bed, I wasn't doing my job very well, and basically every time I interacted with another person, it turned sour because I was just always grumpy. One Saturday evening, I thought to myself, you know, in high school I loved church. Followed by, Eric was really influential on me when I was in high school. And I wonder what EUUC is doing, and if he's still there. I looked on the website. Eric was still here, but on sabbatical. Instead, we have Martha as the intern, which I checked Facebook real quick. I also knew Martha in high school. So yes, let's go for it. I'm going to go to Sunday service one morning. So the next day I woke up early. I'm a night person. That wasn't easy. And I dragged myself out of bed and ventured into this very hall. Just to see what it's like here. I was greeted by the warm, welcoming, wholesome congregation that is EUUC and its members. I was welcomed with open arms to this amazing space, where everywhere I turned, there was someone interested in sharing a story, or coffee, or just quiet acceptance. I started volunteering, where I was met with a wide array of people that didn't just want to tolerate my being there, but who were actively interested in my participation. I connected with Alana and signed up as both a youth advisor, which I'm now doing, and as the OWL facilitator. And that next thing I know, I'm teamed up with Kathy and Avery and Joe, many of whom are here. I spent a weekend in the Shoreline Church hanging out with middle schoolers. And the weekend after that, I somehow ended up as a sponsor to the Youth Con at the last minute. I didn't really plan to do that. 2 weekends in a row, that was a fun choice. But it was great. I loved it. I got to watch youth leaders blossom out of what, I'll be honest, was not an easy con to run. It was bumpy. They had a hard time. But the youth did an amazing job. And specifically, it was great to see some of the youth in this congregation step up and thrive on that occasion. My mental health problems were basically gone the next morning. I went from as close to rock bottom as to pretty much the best I've ever been. As I said, I'm a lifelong UU. And for most of my life, I've struggled to answer the question, so how's that a religion? We've all gotten that question. It doesn't sound like a religion to people who don't understand that religion is something beyond a creed. And the bottom line is that it's what we say every week. We just did. We need each other. And so we come to this place to work and dance and laugh and cry and think. We call ourselves a religious community, not because this place is in and of itself holy ground, but because what we do here and say here and are here make it so. Last week, I finally was able to get in and sign the book. I'm officially a member. And I chose EUUC because you, the EUUC congregation, chose me. I am joyful for the opportunity to pledge my time and money to furthering the work of this congregation. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, Yvonne. And now, if you will find a comfortable position, place your feet on the floor, relax your head and neck, soften your gaze or close your eyes, we will enter a time of quiet. And now, as we enter the quiet, and not the silence, breathe with these words: may solace come upon you, power rise within you, and peace settle on your heart. May it be so. We now welcome up the adult choir under the direction of Matt. They are singing I Hear Oceans by Robert Bode and Jacob Narvarud.
Bill, are you announcing?
know my part. Do you know your own part? Yes. I know. Okay. Sophia was minding her business one day when...
Here, let's start again.
Just let us speak.
Sophia was minding her business one day when... a big polar bear came along to say...
The ice that I've lived on no longer exists. I'm begging you, please, won't you kindly assist?
Startled and flustered, Sophia said, "No." But the bear came right in.
I have nowhere to go.
More out-of-time islanders arrived needing aid. Sophia was bothered, disturbed, and dismayed.
Somehow the sea has flooded our land.
The kids ran right in. They were quite out of hand.
Sophia attempted to turn them away.
1, 2, 3.
We've got nowhere to go.
Was all they could say.
Unwelcome arrivals showed up all day.
Come on, peace.
The sad swimmer beasts had not one clue if spring had just come or fall had soon.
Just go straight
A
up.
pale pink flamingo, hungry and weak, pecked at a sea turtle whose outlook was bleak.
Both were upset that the sights of their nest were being disrupted by unwanted guests.
A farmer whose crops were scorched under sky shared woes with the fishermen whose nets hung bone dry.
The salmon fed our tribes for years. They kept our stories strong. The orcas have lost their favorite meals. We both know something's wrong.
There's no rain for weeks, then it floods from the sky. With weather like this, my crops all die.
A large Bengal tiger was huffed with dismay.
Everyone wisely stayed out of his way.
They all turned to face her with hope in their eyes, expecting Sophia to halt their demise.
But I'm just a kid. What can I do?
It's now up to you.
Sophia by this time felt nothing but stress.
My day's disturbed. My house is a mess. I have no idea how I ought to begin to help them out of the bind they're in.
Unable to put up a front anymore, she went to her bedroom and
Swam!
shut the door. Hiding and fretting, she couldn't think why. These folks were resolved to gray up her blue sky. She wanted to scream and to act uncontrollably.
A tantrum is pointless, or so I've been told. Still, it isn't my fault they're in such a stife. I'll tell them politely to get out of my life.
But what she saw next brought Sophia up short. They weren't there despite her, they needed support.
All of a sudden, the girl understood.
Let's go.
All right, everyone stand up.
I said, let's go.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Next stop, City Hall.
Right. Act now, save our planet. Act now, save our planet. Act now, save our planet. Stay right back. Okay. Line up.
I need an appointment regarding this fauna, who's noticed our planet becoming a sauna. So bring us your top dog, your biggest big cheese, to solve all our problems and put us at ease. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Take a number and wait, if you please.
They waited and waited. It was such a bore until they all thought they could take it no more.
Then Sophia attempted to move things along.
The fact we've been waiting so long is quite wrong.
Getting hungrier by the minute.
I've just about reached my limit. I'm getting much, much too warm.
And we can hardly form a swarm.
Someone must help them. Why not you?
We see you're upset, but we've got things to do.
Sophia felt beaten, forsaken, and floored. She hadn't predicted that she'd be ignored.
Again, she felt feelings of rage amplified, but she squashed them back down and started to cry.
That's when her friends rallied around to support her and glared at the runs to make the wait short.
Suddenly, she saw how each tale was connected, that everyone loses when one part's neglected.
How would you feel if your land was depleted? Your food disappeared, your home overheated, and who's to say that you won't be next? I've already noticed weird weather effects. How can you ask me to sit here and wait? If you dilly-dally, it will be too late.
Sophia thought deeply and then made her choice.
I have to give those who've been silenced a voice.
Sophia stepped forward, ignoring the line. She spoke with conviction and brandished her sign.
When someone else suffers, the whole world is neglected. When someone else suffers, the whole world is affected. The earth is our home. We've got to protect it.
Despite her sound logic, she still was deflected.
Your sentiment's sweet, kid, but what you don't get, fixing these problems will put us in debt. We've done all we can.
They said with condescension.
This issue is far beyond your comprehension. If you have something you still need to say, send in a form, and we'll file it away.
Pushed to the limit, Sophia saw red. She felt disregarded, scorned, and misled.
I do understand what this is about. It's my future, my earth that you plan to sell out.
Sophia's strong feelings smoldered once more, and this time they'd gotten too big to ignore.
Raging with purpose, her banners unfurled, she kicked off a tantrum to save the whole world.
It rumbled down streets into towns of all lands. It echoed in forests, on glaciers, on sand.
People and creatures alike felt its force. They ditched their distractions and looked for the source. And there was Sophia, a miniature swarm, telling the masses how they could perform.
This is her tantrum, by the way. This is representative of this tantrum.
Cooperative actions can turn this high tide. We have strengths in numbers and right on our side.
Sophia assembled and rallied a team. Working together, they drew up a scheme.
They told their officials inside City Hall to pass laws with foresight to better them all. They all told more people, they told more folks still.
They won hearts with kindness and minds with goodwill, and so on, until everyone was doing the hard work that had to be done.
Sophia's new friends soon waved their goodbye.
Say goodbye. Goodbye. Wave goodbye.
They had second chances and new homes to try. They asked for a visit for a weekend or two.
Everyone, please come visit us. Come visit us.
But Sophia was busy. She had things to do.
The end.
We all cleaned up? Keeping with our theme, The Children Are Calling, our opening words this morning are from 18-year-old Greta Thunberg's address to the 2021 Youth for Climate Summit. Greta pointed out to the attendees, despite phrases like the Green New Deal, net zero by 2050, build back better, green economy, climate neutral, the amount of carbon in our atmosphere continues to increase. Over 50% of our CO2 emissions have occurred since 1990, and a third since 2005. She continues, the climate crisis is, of course, only a symptom of a much larger crisis, the sustainability crisis, the social crisis, a crisis of inequality that dates back to colonialism and beyond, a crisis based on the idea that some people are worth more than others and therefore have the right to exploit and steal other people's land and resources. Right now, we are very much speeding in the wrong direction. A recent report by the United Nations is expecting a rise of 16% in global emissions by 2030, compared to 2010 levels. Excuse me. Oh, I guess I better take this. Well, hello, Greta. This is, this is a wonderful surprise. I was just reading what you said at the Youth Climate Conference. Oh, you're watching the live stream of our service and wanted to directly speak to the congregation? Well, we are honored indeed. Please go ahead.
Hope is not
Did we lose you,
passive.
Greta? Are you there?
Hope is not blah, blah, blah. Hope is telling the truth. Hope is taking action. And hope always comes from the people.
Thank you so much, Greta, for those wise and encouraging words. We will certainly take your words to heart. When Greta addressed the Youth for Climate Summit, she was following in the footsteps of earlier children who voiced their dismay at the injustice and cruelty of life in the segregated South. In April of 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., along with Reverend Ralph Abernathy, traveled to Birmingham, Alabama, hoping to shore up resistance against segregation in the state. An unorthodox strategy to include school-age children in the protests was implemented, reinvigorating the fight for racial equality in what became known as the Children's Crusade. At first, King was opposed to involving children in marches because of the threats of violence from white mobs, as well as from the police led by Bull Connor, who was notorious for his racist policies. The plan involved recruiting popular teenagers from black high schools, such as the quarterbacks and cheerleaders, who could influence their classmates to attend meetings with them at black churches in Birmingham to learn about the nonviolent movement. Janice Kelsey was 15 when she attended the first meeting for the Children's Crusade. We were told what to expect, recalled Kelsey. We even saw some film strips of people who had sat in at lunch counters and were spit on and pushed and all that. We were told that if we decided to participate, that this is a non-violent movement, so you can't fight back. It was well thought out, said Vicki Crawford, director of the Morehouse College Martin Luther King Jr. collection. It was not just a bunch of people calling up to meet downtown. There was mobilization and organization, following King's 6 steps of nonviolence to bring about social change. The commitment the children were asked to make was not just to stand on a sidewalk holding a sign for a few hours, or even to an all-day march for justice. They marched daily for almost a week. As the children bravely took to the streets, the Birmingham police were waiting to arrest them, putting them in paddy wagons and school buses. Kelsey says she was arrested on her first day marching and remained in jail for 4 days. The sight of young people peacefully protesting reinvigorated the Birmingham movement, and throngs of people started attending meetings again and joining the demonstration. And King changed his mind about the effectiveness of the Children's Crusade. Although the police were mostly restrained the first day, they did not continue. Law enforcement brought out water hoses and police dogs. Now, take a moment to picture yourself on the street in Birmingham that April. You're surrounded by snarling dogs straining at their leashes. Behind the dogs is a mob of furiously angry people shouting and screaming at you. You are hosed down with hoses, that put out high-pressure jets of water that can lift you off your feet and slam you into a wall. More than 2,000 children were arrested during the days-long protest. Television crews and newspapers filmed the young demonstrators getting arrested and hosed down by the Birmingham police, causing national outrage. The importance of that outrage is rightly credited with the achievements of the Children's Crusade, the desegregation of Birmingham's lunch counters, restrooms, and businesses. However, those victories came months later. Ironically, what brought the Children's Crusade to an end was a much more mundane fact. As Glenn Eskew, a history professor at Georgia State University, explained, they locked up as many as they possibly could until the jails couldn't hold any more protesters. Finally, they simply ran out of jail space. Now, Greta, in her address, laid out a rather daunting list of crises facing this generation. But the climate crisis stands out from the others due to its existential nature. And if you think that's hyperbole, pick up a copy of David Wallace Wells' The Uninhabited Earth that we are speeding towards. In 2015, a group of progressive attorneys formed a nonprofit, Our Children's Trust, to turn some children's tantrums into a lawsuit. It pressed the claim that by subsidizing the major oil companies and failing to mitigate the environmental damage caused by the fossil fuel industry, the government violated the youngest generation's constitutional rights to life, liberty, and property. The case worked its way through the labyrinth of our judicial system, and I'm sorry to report that last year, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals declared that the case had no standing, and the Supreme Court denied the case's final bid. But history teaches us, recall the fight against big tobacco, that the first groundbreaking lawsuit seldom wins. The children, now young adults, are not finished. They are working on a Green Amendment to Oregon's Constitution. If passed, they would join at least 3 other states who have such amendments. In Montana, which has a Green Amendment, you succeeded in 2023 in gaining a ruling that the state was violating residents' constitutional right to a clean environment by continuing to pursue fossil fuel expansion. I want to conclude this morning with recalling Greta's words of wisdom. It starts with taking action, and it starts now. I have lost count of how many inspiring, rousing speeches I've heard that end with that sentiment. We must take action. But it seems I'm always wanting to hear what that action is. So let me make a modest proposal this morning. It begins with recalling when Episcopal Bishop Marianne Edgar Budde confronted President Trump with the following.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world. Amen.
I strongly believe that the key to effective social action is to start small and gradually build by reaching out to sympathetic constituent groups, until you have a groundswell that must be listened to. So my modest proposal is this: that this congregation initiate a campaign to urge Reverend Sophia Betancourt, president of the UUA, to make a similar plea directly to President Trump, and then to ask other heads of other faith traditions to join her plea. We have a close relationship with the Edmonds United Methodist Church, particularly in matters of social justice. Let's ask them to join us by urging that Bishop Thomas J. Bickerton, the president of the Council of Bishops of the United Methodist Church, to go on the record with a similar plea. My nephew is a United Church of Christ minister. I'll ask him to explore what can be done with his denomination. The goal would be to have the entire faith community, Presbyterians, Baptists, Jews, Muslims, Christian Scientists, Episcopalians, the entire faith community, to join in a similar plea to the president to honor the dignity of every human, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other for the good of all people in the nation and in the world. Can we imagine that? I'd like to leave you this morning, excuse me, with the words of Clarissa Pinkola Estes from her letter to a young activist during troubled times. Seems to fit this situation. She says, "One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others, both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and really willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. And remember, the children are calling."
We invite you to rise in body or spirit as you are comfortable to join in singing "Our World is One World," led by Matt.
Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rain that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affects us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make a bridge or wall. Our world is one world. Its ways of wealth affect us all. The way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor. one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed have many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
A kind word or a thoughtful act, like a pebble dropped in water, sends ripples out into the world. Should you wish to make a promise or let go of one, remember someone, release a bit of pain, forgive yourself or someone else, or otherwise mark some important event or occasion, please step forward and quietly send your thoughts outward as you drop a pebble into the water, mingling the ripples of your intention with the ripples of other people in our community. During this quiet time, and as the beautiful music plays, please feel free to come forward and place a pebble in the water. Please approach by the outer aisles and return by the center. Our gentleman is dropping one pebble for all those whom we wish were here with us today, and another for all those who wish they were here. May it be so.
If you are new to our gathering, it is important for you to know that EUUC's weekly offering does not support the ongoing operations of this congregation. We support our congregation by making generous pledges of financial support that we pay month by month, year by year. Our Sunday offering is dedicated to going right out into the world to support organizations doing good works that align with and extend the mission of this congregation, gathering together, nurturing the Spirit, living our vision of a just and sustainable world. 350 Washington. The April cause of the month is 350 Washington Network. The 350 Washington Network unites the 11 350.org affiliated but financially and strategically independent local groups across Washington state to grow the global people-powered movement for climate justice. 350 Washington's independent local groups have a strong history of successfully organizing for climate policy and environmental justice at the local and regional levels, with big wins like 350 Seattle's fossil-free King County Ordinance, 350 Spokane's 100% clean energy commitment from City Council, plus groundbreaking coalition and policy efforts like Seattle for a Green New Deal. Our EUUC climate justice folks at EUUC rely on the 350 Washington Civic Action Team alerts to make lobbying the Washington State Legislature simple and easy. The alerts appear once a week and allow one to lobby on 4 to 7 items of legislation in about 10 minutes. This increased our awareness about an ability to support the legislation that deserves support and oppose bad legislation. The funds donated by EUUC will be used to support them in the cost to staff the network and grow 350 Washington's power in Olympia and throughout the state. As always, thank you for your generous donations. If you have an organization that you wish to nominate for Sunday Cause of the Month, we invite you to fill out the online nomination form at our website. The Sunday Cause was nominated by Nick and Elliot. I would say that's, I'm sorry, by Nick and Elliot. And then we have, if you are online or if you're on site and have your phone in your hand, you can find and donate to the Sunday Offering Cause of the Month by going to the EUUC website and clicking on the Give to EUUC page found under the Giving tab, or by using the QR code. Or if you're on site and you have cash or a check with you, there are baskets in the narthex where you can contribute. Just go through the doors, turn around, and you'll see them underneath the screen on the wall. Please be generous within the limits of your budget. Now for information about what is happening around and or by EUUC members.
The EUUC auction. Did you know our auction has a website that already shows your donations, with more being added every day? Check it out, and while you're there, you can buy a ticket to the live auction on April 27th, where you can bid on a week in Mazatlan, or at a beach house in Newport Bay, California, or a spot in a 4-course Indonesian dinner. The deadline to buy a ticket, which includes lunch, is this Friday, April 18th. We need more donations of events like dinners, lunches, and brunches for our online auction. We're a congregation that likes to socialize with one another. Stop at the auction table in the narthex after the service to buy a ticket to the live auction and sign up to help at the live auction.
This is our moment. Annual pledge campaign is underway. Our annual stewardship campaign is underway. This is our moment to shine our light brightly, with the deluge of hate and attacks on our fundamental values as UUs coming from every corner of the government. Every week that we gather to place a flame in the bowl of the chalice is an act of resistance. Please make your pledge today by filling out your paper form, or anyone can online at euuc.org/pledge. Contact the stewardship team if you have questions.
The Art Library and Maker Space is currently accepting donations of art and craft supplies. We do not need crayons, regular markers, printer, and construction paper, but all the other donations can be brought to room 7 across from the Chapman portraits, past the social justice desk.
Each year, the board hosts a meeting open to all members and interested folks to go over the proposed annual budget before the annual meeting. This is a chance to look at the finances of EUUC, ask questions, and see where they are, where we are. It will be hosted by the finance team and the treasurer at 7 p.m. over Zoom on Wednesday, April 30th, and Sunday, May 4. The Zoom link will be sent earlier the day of the meeting.
The Racial Justice Committee is offering a reading circle on Thursdays, April 24th and May 1st, from 7 to 8:15 p.m. via Zoom to discuss The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. His thoughtful and power narrative addresses the political impact of historical narrative, the relationship between place and identity, and the power of storytelling. During one of our container workshops, Aisha Hauser recommended this book as a must-read. Please join us as we discuss these themes and how our own stories are impacting our reality. Please contact Ginger Alonzo through Breeze or sign up at the social justice desk to be sent a Zoom link. We do have some books for those who need them.
Wear a special hat or something else that makes you feel fabulous for Sunday service on Sunday, April 20. For Easter Sunday, we are asking people to wear a special hat or something else that makes them feel fabulous. Hats were a thing on Easter for many years, honoring Gussie Brock, who was an early member and who was known for her snappy dressing. She's the one whose story about the Christmas orange miracle has been shared several times over the years.
Oh, and we will have an Easter egg hunt following the service on Sunday the 20th. Thank you to our youth group who's agreed to stuff and hide hundreds of eggs for this year's event.
Wow, and happening today on site, come today to the Democracy Action Team in writing postcards in rooms 1 and 2 to low propensity green voters ahead of Pittsburgh's primary mayoral election. We will write the cards from 11:30 to 12:30. All materials will be provided by the Democracy Action Team. No advance registration is required. Please contact Elliot Hazard through Breeze for more details.
Join us today for the Women's Circle at EUUC from noon to 1:30. Feel free to bring your lunch. We will gather in room 5 to connect, reflect on spiritual practices together, get to know one another, and be in community. This space is welcome to all women and non-binary folks who feel that it is the right space for them, and will be led by EUUC member Sarah C. Jackson.
Join us for the children's choir rehearsal here in Chapman. It starts around 11:30 after the service. Please consider having your coffee in the narthex after 11:30 a.m. so the children can rehearse.
Please join me in the words printed on the screen as we release the flame of our burning chalice. We release this flame, but not the light of truth. We release this flame, but not the warmth of this community. We release this flame, but not the fire of our commitment. These we will carry in our hearts until we meet again. You are welcome to remain here in Chapman Hall to enjoy the walking out music, Find a beverage in the narthex and return here to visit with friends, or grab a beverage to go out to our playground and visit with the kids and their grown-ups. They would love to have your company. Finally, give thanks for all of you who make this service and this congregation possible.